Virat, thank you for your time. The game can be a confusing one at times. Yesterday, cloud cover, floodlights on, 2 wickets fall. Today, bright blue skies, no clouds, 8 wickets fall. How do you explain that?
Basically down to scoreboard pressure. You know, we knew we were always up against it when you get out under 80 in the first innings and the opposition puts on such a big total on the board. You're always up against it. But I think we did really well to stay in the moment yesterday, try and fight back as much as we could. We got a few crucial partnerships in, which was the reason why we saw the day through, and we gave ourselves a good chance to repeat the same today. But I think the pressure from the English bowlers today, this morning, was outstanding, and the bowled areas which troubled us as a batting group, and eventually they got the results they wanted.
You referenced the first day there, obviously, which is where the game was shaped, 78 all out. How do you reflect on the events of the first innings?
Well, quite bizarre. It can happen in this country. We know that, you know, batting collapses happen every now and then. It was quite bizarre, as I said. We thought the pitch was good to bat on. The ball was coming on nicely as well. But again, I think the discipline with the ball forced us to, you know, make a few mistakes. And then the pressure was relentless, and it was quite difficult to deal with, you know, those spells where you're not getting enough runs. So I think it's a combination of bad decision making from us as a batting group and quality bowling for long periods of time to eventually put us under pressure, and we saw the batting order crumble.
And in hindsight, any regrets over the decision at the toss?
No, not at all. I mean, as I said, the pitch looked really good to bat on. And you saw that. I mean, it can't really change in a few hours. You know, when England batted, it was a different ball game altogether because we're probably not as consistent with the ball, and their batsmen made better decisions. They had more intent. So the result of this game is a reflection of how the two teams played. We were just not on the money in this game, and England were, and you expect them to bounce back. They are a quality side, and they thoroughly deserve to win.
Are there any concerns over the batting in general? You mentioned collapses can happen here in England. You had a bad one in Australia as well, events like this morning. Looking at Rishabh Pant, particularly at number 6, 90-odd runs at an average of 18 in the series. Are you worried you've not got quite enough depth for English conditions?
Well, you know, depth, you could say that. It's an argument you can have from both point of views. I mean, it's basically the top order has to give enough runs to the lower middle order to step up as well. You can't expect the lower middle order to step up every innings and, you know, bail the team out. I think we did pretty well in the first 2 games. So when you have an innings like that, you don't really dwell too much into it, because the second innings we did much better. So we can take a lot of positives from that inning. I don't think, apart from the batting innings in the second innings, we have many positives to take out of this game. But as a batting group, we need to stay, you know, close and confident. Even after that 36, we bounced back really well. And we didn't really think about what the batting order is doing. We rather thought what the team needs and individuals to step up every now and then. Obviously, you try and do the best you can. But you also don't want to expose guys into situations where every game they have to bail you out. I think it has to be a balance between the two.
You mentioned after the first Test match that the template of the 4 seamers, 1 spinner balance was something you would look to do in the series. We go to the Oval next, which reputation-wise is the one that suggests it might be the flattest and most spin-friendly of the conditions. So is that something you could possibly look at?
Well, that depends on the pitch. I mean, we have to obviously assess the surface that we're going to play on. Forecast is something no one really knows in this country, so you can't really focus on that. But it all depends on the pitch, how much moisture, how is it going to hold up for the 5 days, and yeah, our decision will be based on that. But I think this template works. If you're consistent enough, then you know that 4th seamer, the pressure from the 4th seamer, especially when you lose the toss and you have to bowl first, that comes in very handy, because when you have 2 spinners, you can only attack with 3 seamers, and then the spinners are into play on a fresh wicket on day 1. So you have to analyze that and take the best 11 possible.
It's a very quick turnaround now. The series is beautifully poised at 1-all. You're confident that your team can bounce back in the next game?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, we set the template in the first 2 games. You're playing Test cricket. England's a quality side, as I mentioned. We expect them to bounce back. And we've bounced back many times in the past, you know, especially when we are in this position. We know the things that we need to improve, and we will take a lot of pride in trying to correct those errors and coming out again in you know, a few days' time at the Oval and executing our plans like we know we can do, and we have already done that a lot of times at this level, and something that we are looking forward to.
Thanks for your time, as always.
Cheers, Michael. Thank you.